All right, let's get this show started.
Henry Cejudo critical of Sean Strickland and Alex Volkanovski. In a recent video posted on his YouTube channel, Triple C criticized Strickland and Volk for opening up about mental health. Cejudo believes that fighters should keep these kinds of things to themselves because their opponents could use it to their advantage.
Says the guy who put Ian Gary's wife on blast, LOL. You see what I'm saying, Sean? I hope you can come to the consensus to be able to accept the fact that you're in this game, bro. Like, learn how to play. Don't be that. You can't, man. You can't. It's the same thing with Volkanovski. Volkanovski's showing his cards that he goes through anxiety if he doesn't fight. Like, bro, like, what the f? Like, keep some of that to yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? The world doesn't need to know. You know, especially if it's gonna affect you. It affects Volkanovski. Now we know that Volkanovski wants to fight Ilia Topuria. Now will Volkanovski be the same guy? Because if he gets stopped again with the guy that has power like Ilia, then this is where the drop happens. This isn't Hollywood where you drop and rise. This isn't like that. 2-3 strikes, oh yeah, he was good. He was at one point, he was bad. But because he has these issues that he shared with the world and now people will pick on him, then it changes.
Islam Makhachev lays out his 3-fight plan. The reigning UFC lightweight champion expects to be busy for the next 12 months if all goes according to plan. On Wednesday, Makhachev took to social writing, June 8th UFC pay-per-view versus Gaethje, November UFC Madison Square Garden versus Oliveira or Arman, February 2025 versus anybody, inshallah. Arman Tsarukyan predicts a first-round KO of Charles Oliveira. At UFC 300, Tsarukyan will face the biggest test of his career. He is set to lock horns with Charles Oliveira in what has been dubbed a #1 contender bout. The winner is expected to take on Islam Makhachev later in the year. Speaking to Daniel Cormier and Chris Weidman, the Armenian fighter shared his prediction for the fight, saying, "If you know wrestling and jiu-jitsu, how to defend, it's a completely different game. If we're going to do jiu-jitsu without ground and pound, of course, he can maybe get any submissions. But when you punch someone, he can't think about like, oh, I got to get his arm or whatever. He's got to defend himself, you know? That's why it's so difficult, especially with high-level fighters right now. To choke someone is so difficult, especially when I train with high-level fighters. To choke them, you've got to beat them for 15 to 20 minutes, and then when he gets tired, you can finish. First 2 rounds, it's almost impossible to choke a high-level fighter. I believe that I can do that in the first round, and I want to show everybody I'm the best here. My goal is to go there and knock him out in the first round to show everybody I deserve that title fight." Tsarukyan then shared his thoughts on the idea of Islam Makhachev versus Justin Gaethje in June, saying, "I think he should wait for us because we are going to be the #1 contender. Hopefully they're not going to book that fight for the summer and wait for us. After, when I win, I'm going to fight with Islam and then we can talk about Gaethje. I feel like we are next and Gaethje has to wait for us. Gaethje has to wait until October. Okay, we're going to fight for the title in the summer." Matt Frevola has posted some intense sparring footage. The UFC lightweight has posted sparring footage of him going against Jacare Souza. He captioned the video writing, "When you're sparring 5-5s against a fresh body every round, and Jacare comes out in the 5th. Daniel Cormier shares his prediction for Ngannou vs Joshua fight. The boxing bout between Ngannou and Joshua was recently announced for March 8th in Saudi Arabia in what will be just the second professional boxing bout for Francis. Speaking on the DC and RC show, Daniel Cormier said that Ngannou can get it done and beat Joshua, who's a bit cautious against big punchers.
DC, tap in or tap out, Ngannou can beat Joshua.
I tap in. You know why? Because Anthony Joshua is not Tyson Fury 1, and we watch Anthony Joshua fight against I'm losing the guy's name.
Ruiz.
Ruiz, the little fat Mexican dude. Yep, he beat him the first time, and in the second fight, Anthony was so cautious. Usyk beat him. He's very cautious. And after watching Francis knock down Tyson in the way that he did, I believe Anthony's going to be very cautious. And by being cautious, he's going to allow Francis to be in the fight. And I believe that Francis is going to get after him. Now, the odds makers don't think so. Francis is a plus 500 underdog again. RC, isn't that crazy how different this is? When he fought Tyson Fury, we all thought he was just in over his head. Fast forward 6 months now, we think this dude can actually beat Anthony Joshua.
That's because we saw it,
crazy
though.
what one night can do.
Dana White has announced a new title fight for UFC 300. On Wednesday, Dana White announced that strawweight title holder Weili Zhang will attempt to make the second title defense of her current reign when she takes on Yan Xiaonan on the April 13th card.
All right, everybody, on August 13, 2019, history was made when Weili Zhang beat Jessica Andrade to become the first Chinese champion in UFC history. Well, guess what? 5 years later, we will see history being made again as Weili Zhang faces #1 contender Yan Xiaonan for the UFC strawweight title on UFC 300, and this is the first time 2 Chinese contenders have faced off for a world title. There's one of the title fights for UFC 300. I will have at least 2 or more for you tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Another interesting women's matchup was also announced. As reported by MMA OG and Combate, Rose Namajunas will be returning to the octagon in March at UFC Vegas 88 against top contender Amanda Ribas at flyweight. Thug Rose last competed at UFC Paris back in September of 2023 against Manon Fiorot, where she lost the bout via unanimous decision. As for her opponent, the Brazilian is coming off a knockout win over Luana Pinheiro in November. This was a return to strawweight for Amanda Ribas, who previously experimented at the flyweight division as well. Time for today's top 3 memes. Third place was found over on Reddit and was posted by a user named Kinkinan. Second place meme was found over on Reddit and was posted by a user named Ruthless Raj. And the top pick meme was found over on X and was posted by Contact Sport. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay in the talk.